If you clicked on this video, once again, you and I know good shit. Video games? Hell yeah. Zombies? Fuck yeah. Long storylines and beautiful open terrain? Jesus H. Christ, yeah! In all seriousness, I feel like you and I have a lot in common, and if you're like me, I'd say that you didn't just play Days Gone once. Days Gone is a once PlayStation exclusive open world survival horror game where you take control of Deacon St. John, played by the very talented Sam Witwer. The storyline in the game takes so many twists and turns, but I can summarize it like this. Deacon is a drifter, a social nobody that works only for himself and travels on the open road via motorcycle. Drifters are often given a bad name since they aren't allied with anyone specific and are seen as selfish humans. These can be compared to Stalker's loner faction, or even the bandits from that game. Deacon isn't alone though, as he cruises through the dead world alongside his bestest friend Boozer. Together they form a plan to head north and start anew, away from the people they know and the Freakers. The Freakers, simply put, are the zombies of this universe. Often referred to as freaks, these infected creatures travel in terrifying horde sizes and are resilient as all fucking hell. I'm not kidding, they'll chase after Deacon until he's nothing but fucking hamburger meat. This game could be compared to a game like World War Z due to the sheer amount of enemies you'll have to face. They will often surround the player, and if there's enough, they'll just climb right on top of one another, endlessly struggling to kill you. I think here, personally, it's done way better though. Where do I even start with a game like Days Gone? Well, I guess I could start with the gameplay. The first time I played this, I thought the aiming mechanic was clunky and enemies were stupidly broken, bum rushing me and barely firing around half the time. Of course, this was years ago when the game first released, so after I waited a bit for a patch, I came back, and I'm happy I did. The gunplay and combat is very satisfying in Days Gone. Sure, sometimes it can still seem a bit clunky, but it works in every way and feels pretty good. The graphics are also fantastic. I've never been to Oregon, but if this is how it looks, then I gotta say it's amazing. The size and scale of the world alone, it doesn't feel empty either. There are plenty of points of interest to explore and loads of loot to find at even minuscule locations. It feels even more dynamic when you're just riding along the open road and suddenly a tripwire knocks you down from an invading camp of marauders. Usually when this happens, Deacon has to beat the fuck out of the marauders to teach him a lesson. It's a nice touch to the survival of the game, with your mind and eyes constantly on the road and always ahead. If you're caught slipping up, chances are you're gonna get screwed. By far, the biggest selling point that Days Gone offers is its characters. Now, since there's so many involved in the game and the storyline, I'm not gonna talk about all of them. I'm only gonna mention the ones I want to. First of all, Deacon is fucking great. His quips, his character, his statements, his opinions, everything about Deacon is fucking fantastic to me. Of course, you can't change how Deacon looks or how he changes his appearance or whatever, but he carries the game. Sam Witwer did a fantastic job as the lead role of this drifter that I found myself relating to a lot throughout the game. Although lots of people like to rub his past in his face and bring up his problems over everything else, Deacon continues to help people and survive, which we all have to appreciate.
Murderers and thieves, the lot of you. How many people you killed today, huh?
Okay, she really seemed like she wanted me gone. His intense hatred for the Freakers is even more grasping, as I don't think we've had a main character in this genre who brutalized the threat in such a demeaning way, besides probably Dead Space. Needless to say, Deacon St. John was an excellent protagonist, and I can only wish we could see him again in the future. Then we have Boozer. Oh my god, fucking Boozer. This is the hardest character for me to describe. Lots of people in the fanbase have stated that Boozer is a great friend with a big heart and he has done alright by Deacon. I'd argue against that because Boozer's fucking useless. First of all, when you first settle down in the tower with Boozer, he throws a hissy fit about you using his shotgun in the very beginning of the game. Are you 5 years old or something, Boozer? You can't lend your friend a stronger gun just for the time being? Then, when Boozer gets his arm burned by the Rippers, he becomes even less helpful, constantly radioing Deacon about absolutely nothing.
Deacon, I got out of the infirmary today, man. They essentially ripped off my mind and it'll last her a lifetime.
Sounds like Daddy. How's the arm?
Well, I got my arm square. Sorry, I didn't like it. Seriously, though, it's like I can still feel my right hand, you know?
I think they call that phantom pain.
Yeah, that's what Eddie said. It sucks. After a long ride, your leg gets cupped up. Flex anyway, I gotta get going. Sister's got me on farm duty. Gonna see if I can pay off this damn bill that Daddy has me on.
Golly gee, that fucking conversation was pointless. I hope we don't have another one immediately after it. Oh, god damn.
Who's there?
No.
As always, still out there chasing choppers.
Not a clue. What O'Brien told me seems legit. Heroes out here doing missions to study the comics. No idea.
Yeah, I gotta get going.
God, do you see what I mean? Like, Boozer brings nothing. He is nothing. You might as well be talking to the fucking wall. He is so annoying and useless. Just stupid as fuck. I hate Boozer. Ricky, who helps maintain the safety at Lost Lake, is actually a decent character. She's hard-edged, she's funny, she's charming, and at one point in the game, I definitely shipped a bond between Deacon and her. Any quest alongside Ricky is pretty good, and I like the banter they share in between traveling on the road.
So what are you doing out here?
What am I doing, Dick? Adam told me to come and get you.
You have Sarah, who exists mostly in cutscenes at first. If you're unaware of what happens at the end of Days Gone, this is my spoiler warning for you. Stop watching now and go finish it. You silly butt. Anyways, if you've played before, you'd know that Sarah isn't actually dead. She was saved and transferred into an army unit where she somehow rose to the rank of lieutenant. Jesus Christ, Sarah, I'm gone for 800-something days and you're a lieutenant? I'm just some piece of shit drifter who scavenges vehicles for suppressors. Apparently I don't know shit. She's a great character, and the feeling you get when Deacon discovers that the woman he spent years grieving over was alive and well, it can't be described, especially considering it takes forever to get to that part of the game. I like how Sarah plays off this tough lady act all the time around her military brethren, but then when she realizes just how bad the freaks are, she can't keep control of her emotions. It's a surprising reality check that adds to her character and the overall story. Iron Mike is the leader of Lost Lake Encampment, and although he seems like an asshole, I couldn't help but feel for him. He runs the camp with a stern attitude on violence and doesn't allow any sort of trouble to walk into the camp. Although he doesn't trust Deacon at first, he gives him a chance to prove himself to the camp. It's unfortunate that Iron Mike wasn't used a bit more often in the story, but I guess it kind of makes sense with his age and the fact that he had too good of a heart to resort to violence, which unfortunately later on leads to Mike's death. One of the best segments is when you follow the Horde with Mike, and you see just how big and horrible the infection truly has become.
So where are we heading? You ever been up to the caves north of the lake? I know. Come on, see if you can keep up. Okay. Let's go.
Then you travel to Sherman's camp and fight your way out of the infected city. It's an intense gameplay moment and definitely one of my favorites. We also have Schizo, Iron Mike's right-hand man, but he's a fucking bastard. This guy sucks, and I mean he fucking sucks. His name is Schizo, which not only sounds inherently close to schizo, a derogatory term for a schizophrenic, but it also feels gross to say. I can smell this guy's stupid blue jacket from here, and I bet it smells like cigarettes and body odor. Okay, enough with the insults, but Schizo was honestly a decent villain in the story. He basically does whatever he can to put Deacon in danger with the hopes that he will rid of him and become Iron Mike's lapdog or something. Either way, he is constantly jealous of Deacon, and he often acts like a 5-year-old. He betrays you later in the story by selling you out to the Rippers, and I feel like I have to talk about them as well. The Rippers are a group of people who literally gain euphoric enjoyment out of harming themselves and others by removing their flesh in brutal and grotesque ways such as cutting, stabbing, burning, or poking. It's even worse if you have a tattoo, since these are only seen as stains on human skin to them, and like every stain, it must be cleansed. The Rippers were an interesting enemy, and the lore behind them always leaves me curious, but I hated the twist villain surprise with Carlos, the leader of the abominable group. Days Gone also has a unique system implemented into it, and you can't really talk about this game without mentioning Deacon's lifeline, the bike. Throughout your journey, Deacon can build trust with encampments by completing side quests, turning in bounties, selling harvested meat and resources, and even just shoot the shit with other NPCs. As you build said trust, you'll unlock a plethora of upgrades for that piece of shit bike that Manny gave you in the beginning. This led to countless hours of grinding and building up as much trust as I could with every single faction available. What's great is Days Gone has a new Game Plus feature as well, so all of that earned trust and experience will carry over to a new story. It's so forgiving, and it adds so much replayability for me.
I've been dealing with the fucking Rippers for months. You can't trust a goddamn thing they say.
Now you're sounding like Schizo. Schizo, he put you up to this. He told you.
But you guys are so fucking delusional. These people cut themselves for fun, and you're really telling me that you can make a deal with them? Get the fuck out of here. You're really gonna try to strike a deal with someone who does this? No, they should be fucking wiped out. Like, I gotta say, there's a lot of driving segments in this game and lots of information to absorb from the characters, so I'm not gonna dive too deep into all of that. I just wanted to mention everything I can for this underrated gem that definitely belongs in some sort of gaming hall of fame. The bike truly is Deacon's lifeline. Without it, you'll be fucking miserable. You'll find that even a 200-meter hike on foot will be agonizing after doing it so often. This is definitely a game that requires the bike for travel at all times. While some people may be against that, I can't help but feel like I'm actually some badass biker in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. I dig the vibes. If you run out of gas, or your bike gets too damaged, or you accidentally drive into a fucking pond like I do often, the bike will require maintenance. Most of the time, if you have scrap, it's no big deal. But gasoline is usually not common to find on a random stretch of road. You'd have to be near either a gas station or a tow truck, which usually spawn gas cans behind them. If you're out in the middle of the shit without a paddle though, you're done for. Get fucked on. Oh no, is that the horde? Oh my god. Here I am being like, oh yeah, fucking assholes. Oh man, I screwed the pooch on this one. Oh shit, I'm so dead. I'm so dead. Ah. And if I could just reiterate from earlier real quick, listen to this fucking soundtrack. It's just perfect. It displays helplessness and despair like you wouldn't believe. This music plays immediately when a horde starts chasing you, and it's just amazing. I don't see a lot of people talk about it enough. It should be praised. It should have got a fucking award. I'm highly aware there do exist some problems in the game itself. Obviously, as I stated before, the combat isn't always great. I know I said it works in every way earlier in this video, but let's pretend I was joking. The combat isn't for everyone. The controls are wonky sometimes, either on foot or on the bike. The freakers can sometimes kill you in unfair ways, and it can be tedious when Deacon gets kidnapped and you have to break out of a fucking straw hut to get your stuff back. All in all, Days Gone has made its way directly into my heart this past year, and every now and again as I continue to play it, I keep my fingers crossed in the back of my mind for a possible sequel. There's a secret ending that I'll go over with this game if you guys want me to, but other than that, this is really just a huge game, too big for me to mention every single little detail there is, so I urge you to throw some money to the devs on Steam and get your ass on the open road, stomp some freaks, slap some ass, and smoke some fucking weed. Seriously though, give it a try. Days Gone tickles just about every follicle on the back of my thighs, and if you're into survival horror, chances are you're gonna love it too. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to our channel, and thanks for checking out this video. Leave a like, comment, and since we're on the subject, enjoy yourself. Thanks for watching the content, folks.